Alright, you all, look at this. Look at this. Check this out right here. Where are my notes? Where are they? Oh, yes, here. These are my notes on check this out. Okay, wonder why and feel like this. The greatest giver of wisdom is not a man. It is not a woman. It is not a school. It is not a book. It is not a video. It is not even self. The greatest giver of wisdom is life itself and all aspects of life, from the lowest vibrational things to the highest of vibrational things, from a simple gaze at a rock in the park to the grazing and sway of the grass, from a small child tripping on the ground to a duck taking flight in the air. Only when you reach a certain level of consciousness can you see that wisdom is in all life. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, from the very first breath that you take into this world, from even the lift of a finger, the most simplest of tasks, to the most complex of tasks. Wisdom is in life itself. Creation is the very giver of divine wisdom, of self, of internal world and external world, of people, places, matter, and antimatter. When you reach the point of greatness, you must tell yourself, I am not great. When your external world tells you that you are great, you must tell yourself, I am not great. It is not about speaking down to yourself or destroying yourself with negative thoughts. In fact, it is not about even saying this to yourself at all, out loud or in your head. It is about embodying the spirit that even when I am great, it is not great enough. Even when I have wisdom and I have become a master, I have not mastered enough. When you can tell yourself enough is never enough, it's like being 100 steps ahead of your 100 steps. I must tell myself, if I stop, I die. If I ever give up the quest for wisdom, I will become a fool. If I ever get complacent in my accolades, in my gratitude from external factors, people, places, or things, I will become prideful and boasting, ultimately losing my drive, my hunger, my fire. That which led me to such greatness in the first place. And they tell me I am great, I will say, I am not great. And then when I become great, I will be even greater. Then great, I will be supreme. And when they tell me that I am supreme, I will only think of myself as great. And so then when I become supreme, I will be a god. Death is a disease. I say this is within the body, even in biblical times, in biblical texts. They say these people live to be hundreds of years old, 900, 800, 700, 1,000. In these modern days. We only live to be 90, 80, 100 years max. And that is because we eat poison. We drink poison. Cannibalism, the eating of meats, the eating of dead flesh, animals, and people, the drinking of toxin poisons, drinks with all kind of chemicals and acidic acids within them. The people in biblical text, they drank the sun. They ate from the earth, natural herbs, natural plants. They drank water from the earth. They did not eat animals. They groomed them. They rode them, even became companions with them. But they did not eat them. They only drink water. They could live to be hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of years old because they kept their vessels pure and clean, the closest thing to God. And nowadays, you pull your vessels with things that are close to the wicked. You poison your vessels with things that are close to the wicked, the evil one, the devils. Cannibalism. I ask you, will any man or woman, will any man or woman, will you go out into the forest and slaughter an animal? Oh, here it is. I ask you, will any man or woman, will you go out into the forest or the wilderness and slaughter a bear or a wolf? Will you go out into the pastures and slaughter a cow or pig or sheep only to kill it and then set fire to it, roast it, and then partake in its flesh? You would say no, but I would call you a liar, because you would go to the grocery store and pick up a steak, a rib, a pig feet, bacon, a chicken leg, and you would take it home, and you would indeed light fire to it and roast it, fry it, partake and fry fry it, light fire to it, roast it, fry it, bake it, and you would indeed take part in devouring the flesh, the meat of dead animals. In fact, the only thing you have not done was kill it yourself. Instead, it was more of a luxury, of convenience to you to just waltz into the nearest market and purchase it. Very handy, right? Sickness. The whole world are barbaric animals partaking in cannibalism, the eating of dead flesh. Do you know what dead flesh is? Do you know what they call animals who feed on dead flesh? They call them scavengers. Animals who consume the dead flesh and bone marrow and blood of other deceased animals. And so I say, mankind, woman, man, boy, girl, are you a scavenger? Are you a barbaric animal who eats the flesh of other dead animals, of other deceased life forms? And so this is how come you feel disease, dis-ease within the body. You have the heart to burn. You have to high. You have heartburn. You have high cholesterol. You have the diabetes. You have the heart failure. You have all of these medical issues